Oh, hey, everyone, this here's Uncle Dirk coming to you live from the WBZPL newsroom. Well, on today's program here, we're sponsored by Go 8 Hot Tub Cleaning Services. You ever had yourself a big party at your house, the kind with a hot tub, and you wake up the next morning and the bang's all fouled up? Well, maybe that sister of yours, like them little hellions of hers, playing there with glitter and school glue. Maybe old Aunt Myrtle flipped out and threw a crock pot of green beans at your crazy transient brother Dale, and some of 'em just happened to go into the hot tub. Maybe your crazy Uncle Jethro ate too many of them daggum chicken wings and got wasted on spiked watermelon, and then he decided it'd be a good idea to go pass out in the old hot tub. You ever seen chicken wings and watermelon chunks floating in a hot tub? Well, whatever the case, Go Ape Hot Tub Cleaning Services can help you with all that. They got trained gorillas that can wade into the ballast of waters and get that job done. That's right, real trained gorillas made right here in the USA. They ain't no job too big or small for these apes. And remember, folks, Go Ape does your swimming pools now, too. Well, anyways, we got ourselves a whole gaggle of news to get through today, so let's get started. Well, first off today, we got something going out on the Schoolhouse Road. Our main man on the scene, Mr. Wales, down there right now. Whale, what the heck's going on out there?
Well, Uncle Dirt, I'm out here with Brazilport resident Dave Stonebridge, and he's absolutely convinced that a group of deranged four-wheel ATV drivers is preparing to invade the area, specifically his property. I've been following Master Stonebridge today, and he's presented some compelling evidence. Master Stonebridge, can you tell us what's going on out here?
Ugh, it has been absolutely crazy. I'm out here in my yard and I start seeing all these guys driving up and down the road on these four-wheelers, up and down all day. The first one, he went slow enough. I got a good look at the guy driving. He had no shirt, a tattoo of a frickin' pterodactyl or something on his chest, and he had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Looked like he was wearing some kind of crazy goggles or something, and he had a shaved head like he looked like he just got out of prison. Looked sketchy as hell. But listen, it gets even worse. These guys, they got some kind of man-child person sitting backwards on these four-wheelers when they're driving by. All of them have one, and they're strapped on to the guy on the front like some kind of ratchet strap. What the heck's going on around here? This guy on the back, he's holding a flag too, and it says, "The Motor Pool," like it's some kind of organization or something. I don't know what's going on.
Uh, and Mr. Stonebridge, when did all of this start?
When did it start? Oh, that was 2 or 3 days ago. It's been going on ever since. Since then, more and more of these dirt balls keep coming by. How many of these freaking guys are there? And they're driving around in front of my property all day, all day. They always got one of these man-child people strapped to the back of the thing like that. I got no idea what's going on. But they started driving up on my property recently, and I'm triggered. I'm triggered, man. I'm pissed. I think they're trying to probe the defenses. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? Rest in peace, Motor Pool. Do you hear me? You guys, you can't get me. I've got cameras everywhere now, all over my property. Big money cameras. You gotta drive up in here, you come up in here, I'm gonna know.
Whew, good Lord. What is this country coming to, Whale? Do you think those guys in the back of the four-wheelers are being held hostage on there, or they don't willingly?
Well, it's hard to say, Uncle Dirt. I've personally seen 2 or 3 of these degenerate ATV trains drive by, and the drivers, they look like seedy individuals for sure, but the wee lads on the back that they got strapped in, they look really strange, like there's something wrong with them. Mr. Stonebridge, he's getting ready to take me on a tour of his property to show me all the cameras and security measures he has. We'll have more to talk to you about later on that front. Back to you, Uncle Dirt.
Well, that's a crazy situation. We'll check back with you here in just a bit and see if you got anything else cooking up out there. In the meantime, the producer back here, he's going to give local expert Dr. Harlan Olson a phone call to see if he's got any more information on this here motor pool gang you got out there. More on that here in just a bit. Well, next up, we got ourselves a message from the Brazilport Health Department. Festival bees. What the heck even are they? Why are they all over the mainstream media the past couple days? Well, for those of you who ain't familiar with this lame menace to society, Festival bees is the name that the damn mainstream media and their cohorts in the government have given to the winged menaces that tend to swarm around trash cans and soda pop fountains in the fall. You've seen them. You know the drill. You go up there to grab yourself a big old 64-ounce cup of root beer and you get your hand dang near ripped off by a group of mutant hornets big enough to carry off a county fair prize pig. That's right, I called them hornets. But according to some report by a bunch of eggheads at a garbage university, these hornets are to be called festival bees. I put that in quotations. And they ain't never hurt no one, and they ain't never caused no problems. And oh, apparently they're also some key to pollen matification or some witchcraft like that. Now, listeners, we all know these things were bred by the commies down in the bottommost depths of them Antarctica bokers to pester us. So remember, folks, when you're walking around outside this summer and you hear something buzzing, you stop. You look in the direction, find where that threat's coming from. You'll see these festival bees a mile off. They're so damn big. Next, you find yourself the nearest concrete bunker and get the hell inside and pray that they just pass you on by, because there ain't nothing else you can do. Here in other news today, a Southside business owner, Mr. Joseph Zuccarelli of the old-time Zuccarelli Sandwich Shop, says his customers are being harassed by a ravenous band of headlight-shining hobos. Now, here's what Mr. Zuccarelli had to say about the most recent encounter with this group.
But I ain't never heard nothing like it. I'm standing here behind the counter in my shop. Just handed a guy one of them big spicy Italian sandwiches that I like to make, and he walks on outside. I got these big windows in the front of my shop where I see him going across the parking lot to his car, and then bang, right there out of nowhere, some random hobo pops up. I done decided I ain't gonna stand for this no more. It's been happening all the time. So I went off and run into the door, and right when I got outside, bang, there comes another hobo. He slides out from under the guy's car. He starts polishing on his headlights. So now there's two hobos harassing this guy out in my parking lot. Great. Then the first hobo starts yelling at the second hobo to stop scrubbing the headlights, and they get in some kind of big-ass fight right on the front of the guy's car. This thing's happened 3 times since last week. I'm freaking tired of this. Who's going to come to my business with all these freaks hanging around outside?
Well, that there may sound like a strange or unique experience, but Brazilport Chief of Police Chuck Ernest says it's all too common these days.
Oh, it's a classic hobo hustle. You've got the first hobo that approaches. That'll be the one that plays the part of the good hobo. Second hobo scrubbing on the headlights, that's the bad hobo. Good hobo pretends to defend you from the bad hobo and then tries to get some money out of you for said defense. Might tell you something like his legs were lost because he had to inhale all the Freon out of his dad's Pontiac or something, even though he's standing right in front of you. Do not engage. Never engage with them. Best thing to do, you start yelling in German, making weird sound effects. They hate German words for some reason, and they really don't like sound effects. Stay safe out there, Brazilport. Don't call us on the weekends if you need help. We have lives.
Well, police say they've got patrols in the area, but let's hope Mr. Zuccarelli starts up some of them German lessons, just to be on the safe side. All right, folks, back to Mr. Wales' investigation into this alleged harassment of a local man, Mr. Stonebridge, out on Schoolhouse Road. Mr. Stonebridge says he's been a victim of harassment by this motor pool group, which consists of a bunch of deranged little young people on 4-wheelers or something like that. Now, on the line here, we've got local expert Dr. Harlan Olson. Dr. Harlan, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Glad to be with you today, Uncle Dirk.
Well, Dr. Olson, what in the heck can you tell us about these motor pool people? What do they want? What the heck are those people doing strapped onto the back of the drivers?
Yeah, well, I've seen this kind of thing before, Uncle Dirt. This goes way back to 1957 when the motor pool were first founded. Motor pool. That's a group for your scrap metal collectors. When it first started, they checked trucks. Back then, they had trucks. No 4-wheelers, trucks. Many do not know. You think I'm being facetious, but I'm telling the truth. Listen, you see it? Those guys strapped to the back of the ATVs? Yeah, those are the managers of the operation. They strapped onto the back, but they are the eyes and the ears. They are in control. They don't look like it, but why do you think they hold the flag? Because they took the training, they got the skills. If they looked smart, they'd be exposed. but they're going to be hiding right there in front of you, Uncle Dirt. You see it?
True saying, this started off as some group of guys going around picking up scrap metal and then sharing trucks so they could haul metal, and I guess the name fits with motor pool, but what the heck do you think they want here in Brazilport and with Mr. Stonebridge?
What do they want? Now, believe it or not, that's going to depend on your managers. The ones strapped to the back, the managers. I read the books. You can see it right there. It says it. It says it there. No denying it. Typically what you see is they want to steal some kind of resources. Sometimes they want land. Sometimes they want all the salads. Either one is textbook. Textbook.
Did you say salads?
That's right, Uncle Dirt. They may not look like it, but they want them. Salads. Do you know that 50% of all salads are stolen? Read the numbers. Check it. It's in the book. Sometimes they want other things. Like I said, land, for example. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. They pick some piece of ground or something that they want, and they take it. It's at land. They use it for their base of operations. And they kidnap the previous owner every time. The managers, they will have the fire. They will have the fire. They don't like what's on there, they blow it up. That's it. It's over. Textbook.
Dear the Lord, you saying they're going to try and blow up Mr. Stonebridge?
It's very likely, Uncle Dirt, it's textbook. Classic motor pool behavior.
Well, ain't none of that good news, but thanks for your help there, Dr. Olson. We got to move on to the weather now, but keep your phone on just in case we need to ask you some more information, because this story is developing pretty darn quick. Well, now it is time for that there weather forecast. Oh, Joe, you're up.
Well, thanks, Uncle Dirt. Well, today, going into the evening, it'll get up to about 78 degrees with a 65% chance of spontaneous microjets. I always like to remind folks about the dangers of microjets, especially the new folk in town. Word of warning to y'all. If you're walking down that street and you hear a whistling sound that starts low and gets high-pitched, drop to the ground right away and cover that pretty little head of yours. Remember, folks, a microjet is known to be able to liquefy human flesh in seconds. Going into your weekend, tomorrow, we got some clear skies. They might be maroon, but usually they end up kind of blue-colored. Weather'll be good, but trees may start dropping limbs abnormally by about 3 o'clock. Expect a high of 82, and if you look north, may see some of them seagulls headed to the mountains for the winter. Well, that's it for the weather. Back to you, Uncle Derek.
All right, well, thanks for that there weather forecast, old Joe, you crazy weirdo. Well, now we got Whale back with us. He's still out there at the Stonebridge house on Schoolhouse Road. Whale, we just heard from local expert Dr. Harlan Olson, and he gave us some information about these here motor pool outfit, what's been causing all the trouble, and it's pretty disturbing. He says usually they pick out some piece of land they want, and then they target that property, and they kidnap the owner. What the heck is going on out there?
Well, Uncle Dirk, that doesn't sound good at all. The activity has really been ramping up here with Master Stonebridge. We've evacuated the safety as basement, and we can still see him on the canvas, but we can't hear him very well. We've seen the motor pool step up patrols in the last few minutes, and now more and more of those four-wheelers have smart trailers are pulling behind them. They seem to be hauling a bunch of milk jugs with some kind of off-colored water. We can't quite make it out from the camera feed, but it can't be good.
Oh man, that don't sound good at all. Well, we're going to go ahead and put in a call to the police and see if they can get some help to you out there. Keep the line open, Well. We'll be back with you here in just a few. Well, we're just going to have to hope that old Whale can hold up out there until the police come down and help him out. He's tougher than a boiled owl, though, so I think he'll hold up. In the meantime, while we're waiting, we got ourselves Tom Roush on the line. Now, for those of you who don't know him, Tom Roush has called into the show before, and he's always got all kinds of information on strange things going on around this here town. Today, he wants to come on here and spread some awareness about something that's on his mind. Tom, good to hear from you. Where are you coming to us from today?
You know I can't tell you that.
Oh, yeah, Tom, that's about what I expected, and I totally understand. Gotta stay hidden, gotta stay out of sight, man. Them eyes is always crawling. So, Tom, have you ever heard of a group called the Motor Pool?
I think they might be related to the investigation I've got going on. I don't know if they're behind it, but I think they might work for the ones behind it.
We're behind what exactly?
You ever seen them stop signs around what have all the stickers on the back of them? Sometimes they'll have cartoon mice on there, sometimes they got rainbow stickers, sometimes they got little trees. You ever seen those?
Well, you don't come to think of it, I think I might have seen some stickers on the back of their stop signs before. You think there's something sinister going on there? I thought they were just stickers.
Stop and think about it. How you think those stickers got there? You think some wandering kids just put them up there on that sign? And then you open your eyes, your mind's eyes, and you start to see the signs all over town have these things stuck all over them. Not all of them, but most of them. They put them there. It's how they talk to each other. It's how they keep ahead of us.
But when I hold up, Tom, you think the motor pool was putting these stickers up there? And they use them to coordinate these attacks that they do, like they're doing out there on Schoolhouse Road? Ain't it possible that they're just stickers, though? It seemed like stretch.
You know, I did an experiment one time, just to mess with them. I went up to the stop sign there off the Schoolhouse Road, that one at the T where it comes up to Waterworks Road. I got up there with my industrial engine degreaser, and I cleaned them stickers all off the back of that sign. I come back down there 2 days later, scrounging for cans to collect. And guess what I see? Guess what I see? They got the same stickers back on there. Same stickers, same spot. I know because I sketched out the locations. I know they put them back. They can't stand it.
But when I hold up, Tom, you think the motor pool was putting these stickers up there? And they use them to coordinate these attacks that they do, like they're doing out there on Schoolhouse Road? Ain't it possible that they're just stickers, though? It seemed like stretch.
Well, I ain't never actually seen the people who place the markings on the signs, and I don't think anyone has. They're real careful, and they keep a low profile, but they do it to note who's who on a particular stretch of road. But what looks like a bunch of stickers to you looks different to them. I think they look at the stickers and see a directory, a list, like a phone book, and I know them little red tree stickers that look like air fresheners are the ones that tell who has a firearm in their house, but the others have been harder to crack.
Well, you know, I guess it makes some sense. These guys are too broke to afford their own trucks. They're driving around on these borrowed four-wheelers. They probably can't afford no phones. You can't argue with that logic, so they use these stickers to talk to each other. Well, Tom, thanks for your help. We got to get back over to Will and see how he's doing over there. Sounds like things might be escalating again.
And Uncle Dirt, this here's Mr. Whale out on the Schoolhouse Road. Mr. Stonebridge and I are still holed up in this basement. We got the door barricaded so far, and they've been kept out, but they're really, really doing something out there. Lots of activity.
Well, what are they doing out there now? What's going on outside?
Well, they took all those milk jugs and they stacked them up outside the door for some reason. 3 deep. I'm not even sure what they're doing really, but the rest of the motor pool members are just circling the house on the ATVs. Here, take a listen outside.
I wonder what...
Uncle Dirt, the wee ones on the back, they can talk. I yet to hear one of them talking till just now. One of the drivers just placed one of them right outside the camera on the front door. He's saying something. Master Stonebridge, can you get us some audio?
Your house is our house now. We got all the gas juice out here in the jugs. Boom boom time. Boom boom time for Poppy Kuna.
Uh-oh, Uncle Dirt. One of the four-wheelers is speeding towards the basement door where all them jugs are stacked. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and a sparkler in his hand. Oh God, I think he's going to...
Well, you hearing me? You guys all right down there? What's going on now?
I'm still here, Uncle Dirt. I'm all right. But I don't see Mr. Stonebridge anymore. And those people, whatever they are, they blew the door right off the house. The jugs were explosive. I think they were full of petrol. I think... Oh Lord. They appear to have taken Master Stonebridge and strapped him onto the back of one of those ATVs. Oh, one of the wee lads is talking again.
Woo! Mr. Stonebridge is one of us now. Part of the quad, part of the pool. Whoa! Radio station next. Poppy Kunat send us to be strong.
Oh, Uncle Dirt. They just drove by with Master Stonebridge on the back. I can see him staring back at us with his dead, lifeless eyes. He's one of them now. This is terrible. And did you hear him? He said the radio station was next.
Well, tarnation, well, I heard him. And did he say Poppy Kunat? You think he means Kunat Construction Corps? Like what they told us about last time on the history? My God, this is worse than I thought. Well, folks, we're going to have to sign off for today so we can get some stuff ready. I got to get a hold of the chief of police and see if he can get down here and get us some protection. It sounds like they might be headed straight over. Oh, poor Mr. Stonebridge. He's gone. We'll see you next time, folks. You stay inside the house. Stay off the streets. These guys are everywhere. Here's Uncle Dirt signing off.